much, ma'am.
This call is now being recorded.
Voice is echoing. Is anyone feeling so?
Yes, ma'am. I think you have to mute one device, ma'am.
I have muted. Just give me a second. Let me exit from it.
Okay, ma'am.
Now is it fine?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's not echoing.
Okay, thank you so very much, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please give me the permission to share the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
Just a second then.
Okay.
I hope now it is.
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
It's visible?
Yeah. Ma'am, can you just change it to full screen mode?
Yeah, sure. Fine, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. It's changed.
Okay. I hope it is fine.
Yes, ma'am. It's fine, ma'am. It's okay.
Okay. A very good evening to one and all who are here in this session. So before we come forward, I would request every one of you to just in the chat box, please mention your name so that yes, I can be assured that yes, there are participants and I can look forward for your inputs. Yes, participants. Yes. Okay. Let me exit from this. Actually, I'm not able to see when I am using a full screen. So just give me a second. Yes, now it's fine. So yes, I can see the answers because it has been muted, I suppose.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, no problem. You can present it in the same way, ma'am.
Okay. Maybe I'll take it forward, no worries. So if I
Okay.
want the participants to give me an answer, they would be mentioning in the chat box, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. If you want, I'll...
if you can
give the
unmute it,
access to-
ma'am. If you can unmute the participant, because I feel like if we are a part of an FDP, it would be lovely to hear our audiences as well.
Yes, ma'am. I'll give it the access, ma'am. No problem. They can speak now. They can unmute themselves.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I hope all of you are logged in, and this time I feel is very comfortable for us as teachers since we are here at home. So I hope everyone is there, attentive to it. Good evening, Miss Datta, Professor Dinesh, Professor Radhika, and Dr. Lata Das. Good evening. So before moving forward, I would like to ask you one question in my session, and that is that whenever we meet a person, what is the first thing which you feel, you notice in a person, or any colleague who inspires you, or any role model of yours? Yes, participants, any colleague who inspires you a lot. So I would assume students are there, like all of us are students. Teaching is a two-way process. So yes, I'm anticipating a few of you to answer. Okay, your VC, your principal, ma'am. I would agree. Even my the principal who is there in our college is very inspiring to me as a person because she's a female and she works very hard and is a perfectionist. So certainly, when we have any colleague who inspires us, we all have our role models. For some of us, it is our parents who are our role models. For some of us, it is some good teachers who had taught us in the past, or maybe our guides, or maybe even students can be a role model who teach us how we should change as a person over duration of time. So certainly, so when we say, whenever we meet a person for a first time, what is one thing which grabs our attention? So what is one thing which grabs our attention as an audience when we meet a person? Yes, Sonali ma'am. Good to see that confidence of my teacher. Personality, yes. Okay, for Sonali ma'am, it is personality. For others, Radhika ma'am, Dinesh sir, appearance. Very good, appearance. What about others? One has said personality, the other one goes with appearance. Body language. Very good, Dr. Mukesh Kumar Mirotha, if I'm not wrong in pronunciation. Non-verbal gesture like smile. Yes. For me also, it is a smile. A smile is a curve which straightens the thing. And for me also, when I meet a person, I generally observe eyes and smile. Yes, for every one of us, it is a different thing. For some, it is over some totality of personality. For majority of it, it is appearance and personality. Majority of us as audience notice a person with a good personality, and that is something which is motivating to us as a person. We get influenced by the personality, by the looks, by the way a person, maybe non-verbal communication, the way he walks or talks, or maybe the way a person is dressed. Even that matter, as a matter of fact, even that is something which is very appearing for us as teachers. And whenever we see a student who's very well dressed and very spick and span, certainly we notice it. So yes, in some total we can say it is a personality which in totality matters to us. So personality is a blend of behavior and thought pattern that are relatively stable over time, which characterize an individual's trait and attitudes. So this is a formal definition which was given by the author of the Feel Good Journal, that is Ludovica and Colilia. So when I go through this, she is a CBT therapist. So what is CBT? Consumer behavior therapist she is. And if I go by her books, when I went through it, so certainly, yes, someone has mentioned discipline, very true. Being on time, non-verbal gesture like smile, as already stated, yes, certainly. So personality, as we say, is a sum total or is a behavior of thought pattern which are relatively stable, which takes time to, if we want to change it, it takes a hell lot of a time to change. So yes, personality certainly is a blend of behavioral and thought pattern that are relatively stable, which is over time. And certainly you can say it reflects an individual's traits and attitudes, the way he has been brought, his personality factors, his heredity factors, all these play a major role when we think of a person or when we are influenced by a person whom we come across. And every one of us as teacher want to be noticed. All of us want to be appreciated by our students. Not only by our students, by our fellow colleagues, by our subordinates, superiors, everyone. Every one of us want to be appreciated. So when we observe people around us, one of the first thing that strikes us is how different people are from one another. If we say of like if we are two teachers or three teachers teaching the same subject, we may be entirely different as a person. Some people are very talkative, some people are very quiet and reserved kind of people. Some of us are very active, some of us are very lazy as in, yes, we all are teachers, but lazy as in that they'll work only when you say okay, clock strikes 12. So at the last moment when they are exposed to stress, then only they'll work hard, then they'll see the deadline is approaching, then only they'll pull up their socks and will start working upon. So all of us are different as persons. And it is said that some worry a lot. Like if I talk about my personality, certainly I would say that I worry a lot. When I was uh, uh, as a teacher or as a student, it is a part of my personality trait that I take things very seriously, and which lead ultimately to me being nervous, stressful, till the time I achieve that goal, or till the time that work is done or that deadline is met. So everyone has a different kind of a personality. Some are very anxious, some are very lazy, some are very quiet. So what we are talking about is these sum total words or types which I am discussing. These all are person's personality, and these are the characteristics which differentiate one person from another. Fine. So this is what we tend to, when we go inside a classroom, we come across students. Now there are, in my pattern, I work in Greater Noida Institute of Technology, wherein in one section we have around 60 to 65 students, and all these 60 to 65 students belonging to different culture, coming from different parts of the country. Some are there from Western UP, some are there from MP, some of them are from Delhi and NCR. So each of them have a different set of personality. Each one of them has a different attitude, different persona. They have different way of thinking or looking at a very same thing. Some may perceive that in perception what we have studied. If we go across a glass of water or half glass of water, some may say that it is half full and some may say that it is half empty. So what happens when we as teachers go inside a classroom where we have anxious 60 students and each of them is gifted with two pair of eyes. So if 60 students having two pair of like two eyes, so it means 120 eyes keenly noticing us as teachers. And when they are noticing us as teachers in every day, like it's a not, it's like they are noticing us only for first or second or third, but every day whatever we are doing in a class, the way we are carrying forward our subject, the way we are teaching, the way we are dealing with students, the way we are dressed, we walk, we ask, we talk, everything. So 120 pair of eyes watching us, and certainly it is our duty to shape our personality in a manner that yes, they come forward and say, okay, this teacher is a role or model of mine. Like the question which I asked uh, during the starting of the session, that who is our role model. So for us, majority of us would love to say or would love to hear that our teacher are a role model. How many of you get compliment that yes ma'am, you are a teacher whom we'll remember throughout? Yes, my dear students, I'm asking this question. How many of us receive a compliment, maybe, that you're a very good human being as a teacher, you're a very good teacher who teaches the subject flawlessly, or you understand? So I just want, what are different compliments which we receive as teachers when we go inside our classrooms? Professor Datta, Sunali ma'am, are you all there? Hello, good evening. Are you all there? I hope no one is there in invisible mode. So what is the best compliment, Sonali ma'am, which you have received from student of yours related to my teaching? Okay, very good. For me as a teacher, we are getting compliment for our teaching. That is the biggest thing or biggest compliment which we get as teachers. Any different compliment that others are getting when they are teaching to the classmates or maybe from fellow colleagues also? Yes, very good, ma'am. View of my teaching style. Yes, Sonali ma'am. I receive a compliment regarding my teaching. I feel on sky like seventh sky, and especially when you receive it from different bunch of students who pass out every year. If everyone gives compliments, certainly we are more confident and we are more uh, uh, energetic. Way of my teaching style, yes. Chaliye. So carrying forward, we'll move to our slides. Thank you for input, which I expected all of you are giving input. That's very good, ma'am. So what we say personality is a sum total. Now, when we meet people, this question we have already gone through. So our personality makes us unique. But how does this personality develop? We were, at times we are not gifted with whenever we see. If we all love to watch movies, if you all can associate seeing wonderful actress, evergreen actress Rekha ji, from her first movie till the time we see her, her personality has changed a lot. If we talk about Karishma Kapoor, if we talk about Shilpa Shetty, or many other actor and actresses, when we watch their first movies and when we see them right now, what we see is that yes, there's a whole lot of a difference in the person. The personality is altogether changed, what they used to be and what they are right now. And even if we see ourselves 10 years, 12 years ago when we started our career, like I have around 20 years of experience into academics and industry, as told by Gureta also. So what happens is the way we see ourselves when we were 20 years, we were teaching line, and what we are right now, even if we see, so certainly we have changed a lot. and how that personality has developed. Sometimes what happens is we are doing it intentionally, and sometimes what we as teachers do is something unintentional. And no doubt, slowly and gradually, we are changing. And at times, if a student or someone sees us after maybe 4 or 5 years, so what they compliment us or what they tell us is that you have changed a lot, ma'am. So at times when I go and meet my students, or we happen to cross paths in between, so at times, it was day before yesterday itself, I still remember I was walking down near a place, a student of mine whom I taught somewhere in 2010 or 11, he came and he touched my feet. I could not identify him. Then he was like, ma'am, I am Abhishek. You taught me in this particular college in this year. And then I was like, you have changed a lot, beta. So what he complimented was, madam, even you have changed a lot. In terms of your appearance, the way you are talking to me, I could recognize you, but yes, it took me a lot of time to actually see, yes, it is you. So what happens is there are certain factors which play an important role in the formation of our personality, which are at times deliberate, at times which they are not deliberate. And yes, certainly, can personality change? This should have been the first question I rather over here. Yes, personality can change. It can change without us noticing it, without us putting in much efforts. And yes, sometimes it is without, we have to deliberate, we have to put in many efforts for us to change as a person. While the personality development refers to the process by which the organized thought and behavior patterns that make up a person's unique personality emerge over time. So there are many factors that influence our personality, including genetics, certain environmental factors, how we were parented, and there are societal variables also. I still remember when we were kids, not rather kids, when we were teenagers, and when we were into early schooling, and we were in 6th, 7th, 8th standard, if anything used to happen, if a boy or a girl used to do something wrong, and if he used to be reprimanded in front of teachers and students, the very first sentence which teachers or people used to speak up was, this shows the way your upbringing has been done. So what happens is, in past times, upbringing was supposed the way your parents are raising you in a family, your family circumstances, your family culture used to shape personality. But nowadays, since we are living in a world which is there, we have so many things, we have internet, we have, on the click of a mouse, we can understand the culture of people who are there belonging to different part of the globe. So it's not only the family thing which matters to us. It's not only the way we are parented, because nowadays teachers and students and even our kids, they learn a lot, not only from us as parents, but from the surroundings, but from the internet. How many of you would agree with this sentence of mine? Yes, parenting has taken a secondary role as of now. Ma'am, I have the slides are on F5, that is full screen, but yes, when I talk to you and I see the chat box, then only I minimize it.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Alangbar, ma'am, please pardon me if I'm not able to pronounce the names correctly.
Myself Alangbar, madam. Alangbar.
Alangbar. Where do you
Yes, madam.
belong to? Very nice and a unique name, sir. What's the meaning of it?
Alangbar is the, I mean, the star, reaches, madam.
Pardon?
Yes, a star, madam. Star.
Star.
STR. Star.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
Thank
great.
you. Okay, madam. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So I was asking you, good evening all. I was asking this question that does family play a major role in shaping the personality of a person, be it a student, be it our kids right now? Yes, I want participants to please either unmute and speak like Alangbar sir spoke, or maybe through chat box. Sukumar ji? Yes. So if I gave societal factors, yes, kids learn more from internet, okay. Anyone of you can share an anecdote or maybe an example pertaining to it? If you can unmute and speak up with an example, or maybe I'll quote an example then if I'm a resource person. But yes, if you all can speak up. We have a good strength of 45 students in the session. all equivalent to me as teachers. We all are teachers over here, learning and teaching to each other.
Madam, myself Dinesh.
Yes, Professor Dinesh.
Madam,
Good evening.
every individual has different style and way of teaching, and every
Okay.
individual has a unique personality.
No,
There
I
is no
agree.
there is no comparison between any
No, no,
any.
my question is, sir, nowadays, if we talk about shaping the personality of a student, what are the factors which play a major role? Prior
Okay.
to this advent of internet, it used to be this family, the societal factors. But nowadays, I feel kids are more influenced and are more, their personality is being shaped more by the internet because they are getting mobile phones and they are able to surf, and hence they are being influenced.
And also with their colleagues. Colleagues are also a major role, madam.
Very true. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, their friends, their peers. आजकल के बच्चे बच्चे कम पिताजी ज्यादा थे. Very true, Mukesh sir. I agree with it. Yes, I agree. And since you are, I suppose, in Department of Hindi, you have written it in a very good manner. Speak the language which helps you or which is there. Yes, certainly. Which you are comfortable in, certainly. So I, even as a student, as a parent, I would say yes, it is the personality. I would like to share an example with which happened with my kid. I still remember he was hardly 8 years old. So I one day, one fine day, my husband and we both were sitting, and we could see that he is every now and then demanding something. Ki, I want this. Every other day, I want a chocolate. I want this popcorn. I want this chips. So what we told him, okay, you can buy anything. We'll be.
ये बनी हो भूल के था मेरे पास समय नहीं होता यार समझे ना
Dinesh sir, if you can please mute yourself. Dinesh ji, if you can please mute.
यार तू दो फुलके बना मेरे समय नहीं है इतना
Dinesh sir, could you please mute yourself, sir?
He is muted, man. So what happens, I was just sharing an anecdote. My son said, okay, 500 was... So he was not asking us, what is pocket money? And we were shocked. He's 7 years old only. He's going to first, like he was in second or third class. And he was happy, okay, thank you, mama. I'll be spending my 500 or 1,000 rupees pocket money, which you are giving me. So I was like, beta, you did not come and ask me that what is pocket money, because it was surprising for us that he's not asking. It was a big word over here in North. We are not that easy or fluent in speaking English. So what happened was he never bothered to ask us. So we and like my husband and me, both of us were astonished. Okay, after a month we asked him, "Better, do you know what pocket money is?" He said, "Yes, mama." Meka, who told you? We have never discussed this point with you. So he said, I was watching that cartoon Doraemon, and over there the character was saying her mom gave her pocket money, and he was like, I'm happy, but next month I would be asking for a raise. So I was taken aback. Okay, this is a word or this is a pattern which he has learned from watching Doraemon and Shin-chan as characters. So what happens is nowadays, that is what sir has said, one ma'am has said, kids are being influenced by the social media and moreover by the peer, which others have stated. So certainly, so what we as teachers have to, that we have to ensure that our kids are there. If in a college, it is a duty not to only teach them, but yes, to see that they are going in the correct direction. Because certainly we play a primary role rather than parents are no doubt important, but yes, I feel 8 productive hours they are spending in school with us or college with us as teachers. So our role becomes pivotal in shaping the personality of our students, and so does ours. So personality development refers to the process of developing, enhancing, and changing one's personality over time. And for that, we need to modify our behavior. And at times it is unintentional, but majority of time it is intentional. Now, these are the 4 competencies for us as teachers. First one being pedagogy, second one being professional competence, third personality competence, and fourth one is social competence. So these are the 4 competencies that we as teachers must possess if we want to inspire our students, if we want to be role model for our students, and not only students, but also of our peer colleagues and our bosses. So what happens is pedagogy, as we all know, since we belong to this, certainly we all try different strategies in teaching the same subject. If in our college we have 6 sections, 5 sections, 2 teachers or 3 teachers teaching the same subject, same set of students are different, same syllabus, but yes, everyone carves their own niche. So what we as teachers have to do is that we have to go for innovative teaching strategies. Gone are the days when we used to go for rote learning, or what we say rectification in Hindi, that we dictate and student will mug up, and that is what people do. Many teachers still do it. They are dictating the notes and students are jotting it down, or maybe we are exposing them to notes, and then yes, they are only you can say going through the answers, they are mugging up the answers, and yes, then they are writing in the exam papers, and then we give them grades based on it. But majority of us feel that it is a high time, and we should go for flipped classrooms, wherein we are providing them notes beforehand. They have to go through, they have to understand, and then in classroom we discuss the practical application of it. So what we do is, rather than teaching them theory, we are trying, or we are expecting them to practice what was taught to them or what is shared with them, and how they can practically use it. So this competency is needed for us to certainly shape the personality of not only ourselves as teachers, but also for our students. And through this competency, we as teachers can easily understand that yes, whatever students are offered to us, since we work in a curriculum, we work in a university where we have different set of students from different background, caste, creed, and different region. So certainly we have to ensure that all of them are together we take them together as a single bunch and inspire each and every one of them, and give them group assignments, or maybe assign them a group according to their likelihood, so that they share they shed their inhibition, and they come forward to actually attempt the answers, to actually apply the concepts which were shared to them. So what happens is, when they are appreciated and we motivate them, certainly through this method, many students who are backbenchers, they feel involved, and certainly over a passage of time, the moment they enter this college, from first sessional to second sessional to third and to next semester, we see a subsequent upgradation in their grades, in their knowledge, and in their involvement in the classroom. So this is one thing which we as teachers need to do. Second is our professional competencies, which means what skills we possess, what are our knowledge, what attributes which we are having, and certainly how we are able to utilize those skill set which we have. At times, many of us are gifted with many skill set, but yes, we never realize it and we never use it in our profession. So what happens is we should make use of it. And same way, if we have students, they may not be very good in teaching and learning, but maybe they are very skillful in something other, maybe in co-curricular activities, maybe in extracurricular activities, maybe they are very good in planning. So yes, we need to identify and develop not only our professional competency, but yes, enhance the competency of our students, because if we are motivated, then only we can motivate our students. For example, if we work in HR, we might specialize in benefit management, which is a core competency. But yes, communicating with the employees, managing the enrollment and payment process, these are all our professional competencies. So we as teachers have our own competency, how research oriented we are, how we are able to bring practice into theory into practice and make students understand it. So these all are skill development, like this FDP itself is there being conducted so that students like teachers like us are all students, and we learn and we shape our own personality, and certainly for our career advancement. Then social competencies, like we say, we all are social animals. Human beings are social animals. We do not work in isolation. We all interact with people. There's a continuous interaction be it among perks, be it among superiors or subordinates with our students. So certainly we are social human beings, and for that we should be socially competent. It's not like if I am a very good teacher, but when it comes to group assignment being assigned by a principal or director to us, so we are not able to work together as a team. We are lacking in team spirit. We do not have we are lacking in teamwork. We do not have cohesiveness in our with our colleagues. We are always on fighting end like Tom and Jerry. So what happens is we should all have social competency, because at the end of the day we have to work with people. And these people, why we, because we as teachers, not only we as teachers, in every profession we need social competency as a skill, because then only we'll be able to have or foster a very healthy relationship. Now, this healthy relationship can be with our students, it can be with our colleagues, it can be with different departmental heads, different teachers across different institutions. So what happens, and even when we are there dealing with parents, so what happens is this social competency at times also becomes a positive part of our personality. I still remember a parent of mine, my student, coming to the college, and then we, in front of principal and director, he was like, I'm very happy the way she as a teacher is taking care of my child. And moreover, she's keeping us updated with the development, or if my son is going wrong or he's into a wrong company, she ensures that yes, he is there with right set of students. And certainly that is what social competency is all about, because that does not only reflect the capacity of teacher, but yes, it helps us to develop as a person, because we are able to deal with every kind of situation which we face from time to time. And this is the topic, like personality competence, which we as teachers have to work upon. Now, personality, like what we have already discussed. So what we say, example of personality can be found in how we describe other people's traits. For example, if we say she's a very generous lady, he's a very caring person, she's a perfectionist, or he's a very loyal employee. Yes, he takes care of his friends behind the back. So what happens? These are all synonyms which we use to define different traits of a person, which are a part of his or her personality. So the word personality stems from the Latin word persona, which refers to a theatrical mask worn by performers to play different roles. So what happens whenever we go for theaters and drama, we see people wearing masks. So this word personality got its origin from there. Now, moving forward, personality development. Now, what is personality? We have already studied. So let me run over the slide and come to, yes, for us as teachers. So if we are average teacher, we'll be telling. And majority of us, trust me, majority of us as teachers, when we start our career, we tend to tell the student. It is one-way communication. We are telling them, we are instructing them, we are forcing them. So it is, we are there as average teachers. How many of you agree that when we start our career, majority of us used to no doubt deal with students, but we were on the telling mode? Thank you so very much, sir, Alangbar sir. Yes, I would appreciate if you all can tell, like, as far as my reading and observation is concerned, majority of us, when we started our career, many of us may be initial, like I have almost 2 decades of experience. Some of us may be quite young, they might have started their career right now. Some of I could go through that they are associate professor, like Professor Dinesh and others. They seem to be having a lot many experience, lot year of experiences. So when we start as our career as a teacher, we used to be very average teacher and telling. Yes or no? How many of you would agree? Radhika ma'am has replied as a very prompt and sincere student. Radhika ma'am, what about others? How many of you think that average, good, superior, and the last one is best one? We have all traversed this journey from average to best one. I still find myself to be somewhere in between good and superior one, not the best one. How many of you would feel so? Look, like if I complete and then I ask you this question, average teacher is one who tells. A good teacher is one who explains. She does not tell, but she explains that why, what, when, where. Superior one is she won't tell you, she won't explain you, she will actually demonstrate that this is what needs to be done. And the best one is she inspires you. After seeing that person, you see, yes, I need to be a teacher like her. I still remember 2 or 3 students when I asked them in a class that what your aspirations are. So one of the girls said, ma'am, I want to be a teacher just like you. So that becomes something very good as a compliment. So how many of you of us believe that we all started with average, and yes, somewhere we are there from average to good, or maybe good to superior, or superior to best? If I can expect 2 or 3 of you to please share your journey, where do you rank yourself as of now? Yes, Jay Prakash sir, Dinesh ji, Alangbar sir. Starting में we had different other teachers who were there, used to respond. Radhika ma'am already has responded. Miss Professor Datta, Sunali ma'am. Are we all there on the same page? I have just started as a demonstrator, but want to be an inspiration. Very good, surely, ma'am. Very true. Even I see at times I am there. So, Alangbar sir, where do you rank yourself? Average, good, superior, or the best one? Sonali ma'am, you are like surely ma'am has said she is a demonstrator. What about you, Sonali ma'am and Alangbar sir? Thank you, Universal sir, for a great session. Thank you for the compliment. What about others? Where do you rank yourself? Average, good, superior, or the best one? Cooperative. Okay, sir. That's a new terminology. Very good. Demonstration. Langba sir is saying demonstration. Very good, sir. Demonstration, because that is one thing which is very difficult for us, especially maybe in we belong to social sciences, like in management. And in management, it's very difficult to actually demonstrate. So yes, one has to be a role model. If I say my students, yes, you have to be perfectly dressed up when you are there in college. So for me as a teacher, even I have to be perfectly dressed up, because yes, I'm a role model and I have to demonstrate that behavior. Tell you. So looking forward, we are again continuing. I think theory as well as execution on the same time. Good. Thank you, Sonali ma'am, for your response. So best one is the inspire, and I hope all of us will reach this level of inspiring our students, and not only our students, our fellow colleagues, to say, yes, I still remember when the first session I gave for students as an MDP, it was an online one during COVID, and all my colleagues were also there logging in the session, and the topic was networking, social networking skills for students. So I still remember that one compliment when I came out of this session with the students. No doubt student complimented, but yes, when I came out of the session, I went into my faculty room. The best compliment which I received from my colleague was, ma'am, you have raised the bar, and all of us have to work really hard to actually catch up the way you deliver to the students. Fine. So now, importance of personality development. We all would agree that for us as teachers, we are faced with ever-changing educational climate, and it is because of digital technology. Let me see if someone has mentioned something, because I could see that voice. I'm from visual arts, ma'am. Okay. Good, sir. Just a second. Yes. So what happens is, like due to what we were saying, yes, students are being exposed to social media because they are digitally connected. So certainly it becomes a task. Whatever we are teaching in the class, at times teaching students try to actually test us. I still remember they'll ask when I teach them contract act, or maybe certain marketing examples, be it related to ambush marketing or guerrilla marketing or many other terms. So what happens is they'll surf the internet and then they'll come back and say, ma'am, on internet it is mentioned so and so. So what happens is they are digitally connected, and hence on the click of the mouse, they are able to come across thousands of information. Even when we are doing research on something, we'll find n number of articles being opened. But yes, we as a teacher are faced with this problem, that yes, we have to understand and make the student realize that not every information which is available on net is correct. At times, there are various sites wherein one can edit. So certainly we have to tell them, no, this is wrong and this is right, and why it is wrong and right, we have to comprehend and tell them exactly with example. So what happens is for us to, but yes, when we are developed as a person, we have this confidence. Certainly, we are speaking with confidence, we are giving them example. So this certainly is appealing to students, and certainly they never test. In initial classes, in every batch, we have this problem when we are teaching very basic subjects like marketing management. So what happens, or sales and distribution, ma'am, it is mentioned over here. So certainly what happens is this digital technology becomes a barrier for us. It's not it at times becomes a bane. So we as teachers have to come up with a differentiation factor, because ultimately a student can learn from internet also. Then why would he be coming to the college? Certainly, at times we have heard this debate n number of times, will technology replace teachers? Certainly, I don't feel so. It will replace internet or online learning will never replace us as teachers, because that is what our differentiation point is. This used to be in 2019 and 2021, when we used to teach, we feel, yes, it was not lucrative. It was not very interesting for us to teach online, and even for students to take it online. They always preferred when the colleges are opening so that they can actually attend the class. So what happens is this digital technology has made our role much more important. Then the current generation of students, just I said, there are n number of things available on net. So it is us to tell them that yes, you need to interpret this information in this particular manner, because everything available on net is not correct. And even if it is correct, so how you can make use of it. And then certainly what we say, we as teachers are very, we have to play a pivotal role, because we are responsible to groom the citizens for tomorrow. And we in India, as we say, we have demographic dividend. We have an advantage over there. But yes, in many reports, if we all can agree, we have gone through the youth of today. Though, no doubt, we have huge amount of students. We have demographic dividend better as compared to others. But yes, if you all would agree, I would say, yes, they are not skillful. They are not employable. We have no doubt many students who need to be employed, who need to be skilled. Skill set or employability is a major problem, because nowadays everyone is having a degree, but yes, how to apply the degree they are not aware of. So certainly we as teachers have to play a pivotal role. Now, these are few things. Quality professionals, development of teachers provide a host of benefits. Personality development can help us as teachers to not only to sharp our existing skills, but yes, certainly we need to work together, because we are working in a system where educational landscape has changed a lot after MEP also. So we have to play a pivotal role. Now there are there are different theories of personality, which if you go, since I'm a teacher of consumer behavior also, so when I teach, certainly there are huge many, but I personally feel that the personality traits which we have plays a major role. There are many ways to think about personality. Some speakers, some psychologists opine in different ways, but I personally feel that the personality traits are more important, and these trait theories certainly would help us to understand the attitude and personality of a student and then shape them. So each individual falls somewhere on each lobe. There are many ways. For example, high on confidence and low on confidence. High on, you can say, a person who is very self-motivated and a person who is very demotivated. So there are highs and lows in different personality traits. So there are three criteria that characterize personality traits. Number one being consistency, number two being stability, and number three being individual differences. So now in personality, what we would say as a personality trait, consistency. If we talk about consistency, individual must be, our trait pattern is consistent. What it actually means is that if I'm a person, if I'm talkative at home, then I tend to be talkative at the workplace also. If I'm shy at home, I ought to be shy at my workplace also. So what this theory says is that if the first thing is, if I have a trait, my trait is consistent. It's not like I'm a completely different person at my home and I'm a completely split personality when I'm going and working in an organization. There may be some deviations. In some situations, we may be very reserved in organization, but ultimately we are the same because it is consistency in our trait. Second is stability. Individuals which we are with a trait are also somewhat stable. It has been found time and again that we as individuals are also stable over time in behavior. So if we are talkative at age of 30, it does not mean that when I'll be 50, I would be very shy. I would not be talkative. I would be very quiet. No, it is stability. It would be the same throughout different ages. But yes, with age, certain times, little bit stability or little bit change is there in our personality trait. But that is only with age or with stability. And third is individual differences. It speaks that people differ from one to another on behavior related to traits. So using speech, if we say, is not a trait. Someone is asking something, I feel. Just give me a second. Sukumarji, slides are already there, and I hope everyone is able to go through it. Are my slides visible to all, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Because he's written slideshow, so I thought maybe it's not visible. So individual differences, like I said, every person's one may be high on one thing and other person may be low on it. Some may be on middle of the road approach. So what happens is, yes, individual differences are there from person to person. Now, this is a theory which I would like to speak upon related to what we say big five characteristics or big five theory. So this is the theory which I have used in my study, because ultimately we as teachers have to understand various unique traits of our students and even of ourselves own or of our colleagues, that all of us stand to fall into these five basic categories which have an acronym as OCEAN, where O stands for openness, C stands for conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, then neuroticism. So these are various personality traits which we as individuals fall prey to every now and then. So what happens is openness. Can anyone tell me what would signify as openness over here? What do we mean by the term openness? Any one of us? If you have gone across it, openness over here would be, I've mentioned, level of creativeness and responsive to change, how open we are. How many of us are, you can say, how many of us are open for changes, how we are able to listen to new ideas, innovative thought processes? Yes? Any one of you who can share it? Openness? Has any one of you studied these strategies or gone through these OCEAN strategies prior to it? Big five personality test or big five personality traits? Yes or no, if you all can please mention in the chat box. Has someone written something in chat box or not? No, okay. I thought everyone would have been aware of, isliye I have not included much in it. I have only used the acronym. Okay, fine. So openness. So what happens is, it was a study, and on the study it is based that every one of us have different personality traits, which are known as a big five personality. And there's a test. When you surf internet, you'll find there are many tests associated with it, which will tell us what kind of person we are. Whether we are open, we are ranking high on openness, or we are low on openness. So these are the big five factors which refer to the major personality dimension that psychologists have determined. And the first one being openness. Openness means how open a person is to new ideas, to new experiences, to adopt new methods, how open we are when we are working. If a student is coming up with a creative idea, are we open to it, or are we ask him to please shut down, shut up, and please be seated? So at times we all are close-minded. So where do we rank ourselves in terms of openness? Then second is conscientiousness. So how focused we are, how goal-directed we are, how good we as a person or employee are in planning, and we give heed to every minor detail provided to us. Then third factor is extraversion, which means extraversion, how energetic we are, how emotional and how expressive we are, how much we are energized, we are fun loving. I gel with people quite easily. I'm emotional. I'm a cheerful person where everyone wants to meet me in the morning. So that is extraversion, how social we are. Then agreeableness. So agreeableness over here is that when talking about level of interest, whether I am cooperative or not, whether I am there always opposing, no, this is not right, this has to know, whether I agree to whatever is put forward to me, and I show interest in different kind of thinking or thought process, and I agree to it, and I certainly put myself in the shoes of others, and I agree to it, and I'm a jolly kind of a person, mixing with everyone. But yes, it's not like I'm showing my anger and frustration in uh, on every topic, on every option available. And last one being in from Ocean's acronym is neuroticism. That is how emotionally stable I am. Whether I'm a person, I'm a very negative person. I think of negative things first. I'm very sad at times. You can say I always frown. I'm always into tears. So that is neuroticism. So how much emotionally stable I am. So these 5 personality trait theories we should not only analyze for us as human beings, but yes, we can use this theory. We can send this questionnaire to our student and ask them to rank themselves. Yes, they have certain questions like I take care of other people before taking care of myself. Accurate, inaccurate. There's a Likert 5 scale wherein you can test it, you can mention it. I believe, like the questions, I accept people the way they are. I believe in importance of art. My mood changes easily. I am always prepared. I have vivid imagination. I feel comfortable around with people. I often feel blue at work. I am the life of the party. I treat everyone with kindness and sympathy. I have kind words for everyone. I'm skilled in handling social situations. So it is a questionnaire comprising of almost 100 questions, and wherein you can ask your participants, your students, your colleagues to rank them, and then there would be a score which will tell them, yes, at times what we think of ourselves as a person, we may be a totally different set of a person views of other. For us, we may be quite open. We listen to new ideas, we may implement it, but yes, our audience will tell us how open we as a person are. So this was a personality trait theory which I wanted to discuss. And if I'm given a session again for such topics, certainly I would try to come up with a detailed session on this, giving a questionnaire and then testing the personality of us as teachers also. And even we can use this test for our students also. Because certainly, if we know what kind of personality our student is, then only we can work on making him, changing him as a person, or maybe even assigning him or her task pertaining to his behavior, pertaining to his trait. Fine. So this was the Ocean theory, or Big 5 personality trait theory, which is also there available readily for you all of as students also to apply to your classrooms. So we are role models for our students. And what makes us a role model? Maybe our professional competence, our love for teaching, because teaching is something which is natural for us. It should be like breathing in and breathing out. The human being we are, the values we hold, the way we communicate, and certainly what speaks out. I have used in my previous slide the differentiation factor. If you all can understand, see in the first slide, the differentiation point. over here, which is mentioned. So what I would say as a student, the differentiation point for us as teachers would be the way we are handling or managing the classroom, the way we have rapport, the relationship with our colleagues, our academic achievements, our research-oriented achievements, the way we mentor our student. We do not take him as a student. We assume him to be like our not only a student, but yes, like a brother, sister, or a kid. So we are mentoring. Not only we are tutoring, but we are mentoring him. Fine, and these are few personality development methods which we as teachers can use. We can, like the way all of us are here attending this session, certainly it is because we are being trained on it. So training is the first and the most important thing. Second thing is collaboration. If we are lacking in one skill, we can collaborate with a person who is good in that personality trait, and then certainly we can collaborate, and we can certainly acquire certain skills which we are lacking so that our personality is improved. Then certainly what we say is extensive reading. When we are in here into profession of teaching and learning is a lifelong process which will never stop. And then certainly body language skills. जैसे अभी कईयों ने many of us in the starting told कि yes, your non-verbal communication about body language, certainly this is something which we all can learn, and there are many classes wherein they groom us as a personality nowadays. So we can even find dining etiquettes, net etiquettes. I still remember I took a session 2 years before. It was related to net etiquettes, email etiquettes. So these are basic body language skills, dressing skills, the way we talk, and all those things which we can be trained on. And certainly we can be inspired by role models, by examples which we see in our day-to-day life. And then how to develop our personality. First, identify. The first step which I feel every one of us would be following is that we should identify our current traits, self-awareness, reflection, introspection, I would say. So if we introspect ourselves, that is the very first thing. We all know we all have certain shortcomings. No one is perfect in this world, not even we as teachers. So what happens is, but we should know what are our weaknesses. When we used to go for SWOT analysis, what are our weaknesses? So first thing is, after introspecting is identify our own weaknesses. And then certainly when we know, okay, this is a gray area, this is a weak area, certainly we need to work upon. And getting a realization is the first step towards us making a change. So certainly reflecting on our behavior, and then certainly trying to work upon our weaknesses is the first thing. Second, then we should set up a daily personal development goal. Okay, this is my daily achievement. And as a teacher, what I would say, even I have, it's not like whatever I'm stating over here, I have not implemented. Everything which I'm quoting out here is what I have implemented. I still remember as a researcher, the one thing which I always used to dread was that to do research. It was not my cup of tea. But when slowly and gradually what I did was, okay, I'm not a very good researcher, I agree. But what I used to do was that during the non-teaching period, I made it a point that, yes, I will write one paper. It can be secondary, it can be primary bit, but at least doing something every day is consistency is what matters. Okay, spending only 1 hour. I used to fix up 1 hour. Okay, during lunch hour, after having my lunch, 40 minutes I'll be dedicating to reading only an article, not writing, only reading. Because when I started reading 15-20 articles, then only it took, you can say, then only it started hitting me, okay, this is things made sense to me. So we should write down our daily goals and start working on it. Maybe small, maybe one paragraph, one page, one article, but yes, consistency and doing it daily matters. Then keeping a positive mindset. Yes, certainly. We as human beings have a tendency of thinking negative first. So we have to overcome this, and we should always have a positive mindset. Why won't I be able to do it? If others can do it in research, certainly even I can do it. So that positive mindset or growth mindset is something which is very much important, and hence only we'll be able to do something. And then change is something which is very difficult for all of us. How many of us are ready for changes? I am a person, I'm not very open. What I would say, for me, changing something, even changing a small routine becomes a very tedious task. So certainly, I would personally say that for me to change myself as a person, I was a person who always used to procrastinate. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And that tomorrow never used to come. So what happens is, I still remember a colleague of mine and my director, sir, who they motivated me to work on this habit of mine. And certainly, slowly and gradually, I thought, yes, I'll do things on a daily basis. And then certainly, that was the most difficult task, that was to take the first step. But slowly and gradually, trust me, I was able to do it. So what happens is, changing oneself can be difficult, but yes, it's not impossible. And then being confident. Whenever we are doing work which is there in our comfort zone, we are very confident. But yes, when we are doing something which is beyond our comfort zone, it becomes very difficult, because it becomes very challenging and difficult for us too, because every one of us want to work in comfort zone. But yes, we have to be confident, and we need to step forward out of our comfort zone, because what happens is, even if we know we are not perfect, we realize, we introspect our weaknesses, but only introspection or realizing will not solve the purpose. We have to work upon it. We have to be confident enough to change those weaknesses into strength. Fine. And then how to develop, having a good personality is an important skill, but it's very difficult. Some of us are not blessed or born with a good personality. But yes, whenever we see a person who's very lean and thin, not very fair, because we have our own criteria for defining personality of a person, and majority of us would agree with it, that it is the external factors which matters a lot for us. I would say it is only our appearance. For majority of us, it is the appearance which matters, rather than our different personality factors which are intrinsic. Maybe, as I said, smiling, being cheerful, these are all secondary for majority of us. So to be born with personality is an accident, but dying with a good personality is an achievement which we all should achieve. And then making simple things, enjoying whatever we have, relaxing, going out with our friends, with our kids, with our family, always being ourselves. This is, I believe, that I am very honest as a person. I try to be who I am. I don't want to be a people pleaser kind of a person. I am always a person who speaks truth, be it blunt, but yes, on face. So slowly, initially, what I feel, it is difficult for us people like me to adjust in an organization. But slowly and gradually, when people understand you, they trust you. Mark, trust me, I have seen a remarkable change in people thinking of me during my first few initial months in an organization, and later on. And then yes, because that is a confidence. Yes, I am there on your face. I'm speaking what is there in my mind, rather than sugarcoating my things. Then learn to love others also. It's not always bragging. I did this. I listen to others, because listening is equally important. Then showing respect for the person's opinion, even if you are wrong, and beginning in a friendly way, and let the other person also feel that the idea which is his or her is equally important. Because at times we are very close-minded. We always say that whatever I am saying is correct, and whatever other person is saying is not completely correct. So what happens is, we all have this habit: if something is happening, if something is good, it is because of me, and something bad happens, it is because of them. So what happens is, if someone is giving a good idea and we are quoting it in front of our bosses, it is our duty to quote that it is not my idea, it is the idea of others. And simply ending each day with a gratitude. So thank you, audiences. This is my, you can reach me through this email ID. You can connect me on LinkedIn, and this is my number, which I would like to share if in case you want to reach to me. Any doubts to any one of you can please come forward and mention in the chat box. Time factor, feedback.